Hey, Heartland fans! Welcome back to the ranch. After 18 unforgettable seasons of love, loss, triumph, and heartache, we're finally here. Season 19 of Heartland has arrived. And trust me, it's going to take us on a journey like never before. Get ready to go deeper into the hearts of our beloved characters and witness their most intimate, raw moments yet. Picture this. The sun is just rising over Heartland Ranch, casting a golden glow over the sprawling fields. There's a peaceful serenity in the air, the kind that makes you feel like the world has paused to breathe. Amy Fleming stands at the edge of the barn, her gaze steady and thoughtful, looking over the land that has shaped her in ways no one could imagine. The familiar scent of fresh hay and the earthy aroma of the soil beneath her boots fill her senses, grounding her as she takes it all in. For a split second, it feels like everything is still, like time itself has taken a breath. But we all know that in the world of Heartland, peace is never lasting. New seasons bring new challenges, and the ones ahead will test everything Amy has fought for: her family, her legacy, and the future she's determined to build. So, what's next for Amy? What twists, turns, and heart-wrenching moments are in store for us? Stick around as we dive headfirst into the emotional roller coaster that is Heartland Season 19. With every episode, expect the drama, the heartbreak, and the joy that makes Heartland feel like home. Trust me, you won't want to miss a single second. But beneath the calm, Amy senses a storm brewing, not just the kind that changes the weather, but one that shifts the course of her life. As she watches the horses graze in the field, she can't help but reflect on how much has changed since she first arrived at Heartland. She is no longer the scared, grief-stricken girl who struggled to connect with those around her. She has grown into a strong, capable woman, a mother and a wife, someone who has faced loss, found love again, and carved out a place for herself on the ranch. But the road ahead isn't as clear as it once seemed. The camera cuts to a series of shots: Amy feeding horses, Lindy playing nearby, Jack working in the barn, and Tim overseeing the cattle. It's a normal day at Heartland, but the undercurrent of change is palpable. There's a new energy in the air, an unspoken sense that the familiar rhythm of life is about to be disrupted. At the heart of it all is Amy's evolving role on the ranch. She has always been a source of stability, someone who can heal horses and mend broken spirits. But, as Amber Marshall hinted in her recent update, this season will push Amy beyond her comfort zone. The first sign of change comes unexpectedly, but with a heavy weight. Jack calls Amy into his office, his face serious and unreadable. As she steps into the room, the air feels thick with unspoken words, and for a brief moment, the silence seems to stretch on forever. Amy's heart races as she wonders what's on Jack's mind. "We've got a few things we need to discuss," Jack begins, his voice steady, but his eyes betraying a hint of concern. He takes his time settling into his chair, as if the next words he speaks carry a burden he can no longer avoid. "I've been thinking a lot about the future of Heartland." Amy's heart races, her instincts telling her that this is no ordinary conversation. The tension in the air is palpable as her eyes sharpen, her curiosity igniting. "What kind of changes are we talking about?" she asks, her voice steady but laced with anticipation. Jack exhales deeply, his shoulders heavy with the weight of unspoken words. "I've been wrestling with some tough decisions about the ranch. Tim's not getting any younger, and neither am I. We need someone to take the reins, someone who can lead this place into the future." His eyes lock with hers, his gaze intense, as if silently urging her to grasp the full depth of his meaning. Amy's heart skips a beat. She's always known this day might come, the day when the responsibility of Heartland would rest squarely on her shoulders. But hearing it spoken aloud, feeling the gravity of Jack's words, sends a shockwave through her. A flood of vulnerability rises, threatening to overwhelm her as the reality of what's being asked becomes painfully clear. "Are you asking me to take over the ranch?" she asks, her voice calm but her insides twisting in a whirlwind of emotions. Jack doesn't flinch. He nods slowly, his words weighted with purpose. It's more than just overseeing the day-to-day. It's about shaping the future of this place, making decisions that will impact Heartland for years to come. And Amy, I believe you're the right one for this. The full weight of his trust crashes over her like a tidal wave, leaving her breathless. Amy has always been the healer, the one who nurtures and soothes, but real leadership, is a different animal altogether. It's a mantle she never expected to wear, and yet here it is, pressing down on her in ways she never anticipated. The responsibility of not only caring for the land, but of guiding its future, both terrifies and excites her in equal measure. As she absorbs Jack's words, a storm of emotions swirls inside her. There's a fierce pride in the trust he's placed in her, but also a gnawing sense of doubt. Is she truly ready for this? No longer will she simply be Amy, the horse whisperer. She'll be the one making the tough calls, confronting the hard truths, and carrying the future of Heartland on her shoulders. And in that moment, everything her dreams, her fears, her future feels like it's hanging in the balance. Meanwhile, the dynamics within the family are shifting in ways Amy can't ignore. Tim's health, once a quiet concern, is becoming impossible to overlook. Though he refuses to admit it, Lou can see the toll it's taking on him. Her father's stubbornness is a part of who he is, but his failing health, is something they can't ignore. The ranch will not just be Amy's responsibility, it will require the full force of the family to keep it running. And with Tim's health declining, Amy isn't sure if they have enough time to get it all together. Lou, Amy's rock throughout so many of life's battles, now faces her own set of struggles. Caught between her loyalty to her father and her desire to help Amy, she feels torn. The weight of what lies ahead, for both of them, hangs heavy in the air. The family dynamic is shifting, and Lou knows that things are never going to be as simple as they once were. As the days pass, the pressure mounts. Amy begins to feel the strain of her new role, trying to juggle the demands of the ranch with the complexities of her personal life. Her relationship with Nathan, though still young and filled with hope, is put to the test. They've weathered storms together, but this new responsibility threatens to pull them apart. The distance between them begins to grow, as Amy's world becomes consumed by the needs of the ranch. And just when Amy thinks she's getting a handle on things, a familiar face returns to the ranch Ty Borden. But it's not the Ty she once knew, it's his memory, his presence in her dreams, his legacy that resurfaces, stirring emotions Amy thought she'd buried long ago. His absence has created a void in her heart, one that no one, not even Nathan, can fill. Ty's return, even if only in spirit, raises new questions about her future and about the relationships that define her life. As Amy navigates the weight of these changes, one thing becomes clear: this season, Heartland will test the limits of love, loyalty, and what it truly means to lead. The air around Heartland Ranch is changing, and for Amy, the next chapter is just beginning. The air around Heartland Ranch is thick with change, and Amy Fleming can feel it in every corner of the land she's come to love. She wakes up every morning with a sense of purpose, but today, something is different. The day begins like any other, until the phone rings. It's a call from a neighboring ranch, from someone Amy knows well. But it's the kind of call that shakes you to the core. Their most prized horse has fallen ill, and their vet is nowhere to be found. With a storm rolling in, the ranch needs help fast. There's no time to lose, and Amy's expertise is their only hope. Without hesitation, she grabs her gear, preparing for another long day. She's ready for the challenge, but there's an undeniable sense of urgency in the air as she rides out to the neighboring ranch. Her mind races. She knows the stakes. One wrong move, and the horse could be lost. But it's more than just the horse. It's the pressure of being the one everyone turns to in moments like this. This is the kind of responsibility that comes with leadership. Nathan, on the other hand, is fighting a battle within himself. Watching Amy take on more and more responsibility has been a source of pride for him, but it's also creating distance between them. He's noticed her eye strain, late nights, and distracted conversations. The Amy he fell in love with is still there, but she's also evolving into someone he doesn't fully recognize. As a man who thrives on protecting those he loves, Nathan finds himself torn between supporting Amy and confronting his own feelings of neglect. It's not just about the ranch, it's about their relationship. Every conversation seems to end with unfinished words and unresolved tension. He's trying to be patient, but how long can he wait for the woman he loves to come back to him? And does he even have the right to ask that of her? Back at the ranch, Amy faces another haunting reminder of the past. As the storm clouds gather and the wind picks up, she heads to the barn to check on the horses. There, in the dim light, she sees the old saddle Ty used to ride. For a moment, it feels like he's standing right beside her. His absence has left a hole in her heart, one she's been trying to fill with work, with her daughter, and with the responsibilities of Heartland. But the ache is still there, always lurking beneath the surface. Amy tries to push it down to focus on what's in front of her, but it's impossible to ignore the emotional weight that ties memory. Every decision she makes, every step she takes, feels like a conversation with his ghost. She wonders, what would he say if he were here? Would he be proud of her? Would he understand the choices she's having to make? Just as the storm picks up, so does the drama at Heartland. Lou receives an unexpected visitor, someone from her past, someone who hasn't been in town for years. Their return sends ripples through the family, stirring up old feelings, unresolved issues, and long-buried secrets. Lou tries to keep it together, but the tension is palpable. The once close family unit begins to crack under the weight of its own history. Amy watches it all unfold, feeling the pressure mounting from all sides. The ranch is her life, but so is her family. The delicate balance she has worked so hard to maintain is now at risk. How much longer can she keep everything together before it all falls apart? The storm outside howls louder as the day wears on, its fury mirroring the storm brewing inside Nathan. He can no longer stay silent. He's watched Amy change before his very eyes, watched her shoulder the weight of 1,000 responsibilities, and it's slowly tearing him apart. The woman he once knew, full of hope and light, seems lost in the shadows of her new role. With frustration and raw emotion spilling over, Nathan can't hold back any longer. The air is thick with tension as Nathan pulls Amy aside after a long, grueling day on the ranch. His voice is barely a whisper, yet it trembles with the pain of a broken heart. "Amy, what's happening to us?" he asks, his words laced with desperation. "I don't even recognize the woman I'm with anymore. I know you're doing your best, but what about us? What about you?" Amy's heart shatters as his words pierce through her, cutting deeper than she could have imagined. There are no answers. The question hangs in the air like a weight she can't escape. She's been so absorbed in saving Heartland, so focused on stepping into a role that's always felt just beyond her reach, that she's lost sight of the one thing that truly matters: her family. Nathan needs her in ways she can't even put into words, and the more she tries, the more she fears she's slipping away from him. "I'm trying, Nathan," she whispers, her voice cracking under the strain of everything she's carrying. "But I don't know how to do all of this. I don't know how to be everything everyone needs and still be me." Her confession is a desperate plea for understanding, the weight of her emotions threatening to overwhelm her. Meanwhile, back at the ranch, the family is unraveling. Tim and Jack, once inseparable partners, are now locked in a fierce battle over a decision that could change the future of Heartland forever. Tim, ever the stubborn force, refuses to relinquish control, clinging to the past with everything he has. But Jack, ever the realist, knows that the world is shifting, and Heartland must evolve with it. "You can't keep running this place like it's still the good old days, Tim," Jack snaps, his voice slicing through the tension like a sharp blade. "We need to think about the future. The world is moving forward, and we can't afford to be left behind." Tim, furious at the thought of losing what Heartland has always been, retaliates. "And what about Amy, Jack?" His voice is filled with accusation. "What do you think you're doing? Pushing her into a role she's not ready for?" The rift between Jack and Tim threatens to consume them all, and Lo is caught in the middle, torn between loyalty to her father and the desire to protect her sister. Every decision ahead feels like an insurmountable weight, each one affecting the future of the ranch, her children, and the uncertain path they must follow. It's not just a storm raging outside, it's a storm tearing through the very heart of Heartland. The family, once united, is now on the brink of fracture. Amy, trapped in the eye of this storm, feels the unbearable weight of everything crashing down on her. She doesn't know how much longer she can hold it all together. As night falls, she steps outside, desperate for peace, her mind racing with fears and doubts. The storm has passed, but the winds of change are still howling, relentless and unforgiving. She looks toward the barn, the one place that has always been her sanctuary, her safe haven in the chaos. With each step toward it, a momentary sense of calm settles over her. Inside, the horses stand still, as if sensing her turmoil. As she begins to brush one of them, the rhythmic motion grounds her in the present, a reminder of the simplicity she's been craving. And then, just when she thinks she can't take any more, she hears Itai's voice, soft, clear, and steady, as if he's right beside her. A tear slips down her cheek, but it's not just sorrow. It's a moment of clarity. She's not alone. Ty's love, his spirit, his strength, they're all still with her. And in that moment, she feels a spark of hope, a quiet reminder of the strength she has always carried within her, the courage to keep going when it feels like everything is falling apart. The burden of the world doesn't have to be hers alone. It's time to lean on those who love her, to share the weight that's threatening to break her. The morning after the storm is deceptively calm, but the aftershocks of last night's revelations still echo through the ranch. Amy feels the ground shifting beneath her, and as the first light of dawn breaks over the fields, she wonders if this calm is just an illusion. Every choice she's made has led her here, but now standing at a crossroads, the path ahead feels both like a gift and a burden she's unsure she can carry. As she walks through the barn, the familiar sounds of the horses bring her a strange comfort, but even this sanctuary can't erase the tension gnawing at her. Her role at Heartland has shifted. It's no longer just about healing horses. Now, she carries the weight of the ranch's legacy in her hands. The pressure mounts with each passing day, and the fear of not being enough becomes more real with every moment. She's always been the one to heal broken animals, but now the question looms larger than ever. What about her own broken heart? What about the fractures in her family? As she moves through her morning, lost in thought, Lo arrives at the barn, her face etched with concern. Amy braces herself for what's to come. "Amy, we need to talk," Lo says softly, her voice heavy with worry. Amy wipes her hands on her jeans, the weight of the conversation settling over her. "I know. I can feel it, Lo. But I don't know how to fix this." Lo steps closer, her presence calm and grounding. "I think we both know something has to change if we're going to keep Heartland going. But you can't do this alone, Amy. We're family. We have to stick together." The road ahead is uncertain, but one thing is clear: Amy can't do this by herself, not when the love and strength of her family is there to lean on. The future of Heartland, and her own future, depends on the strength they have together. Meanwhile, Jack and Tim are locked in yet another disagreement, this time over the future of the ranch. Jack has always been the steady hand guiding Heartland through both good times and bad. But now, as the pressures of the modern world weigh heavily on him, he knows that Heartland must adapt. Sitting across from Tim at the kitchen table, frustration lines Jack's face. Tim, we can't keep running this place like it's still the 1950s. The world's changing, and we have to change with it, Jack argues, his voice sharp. Tim, ever the old-school cowboy, refuses to let go. What exactly are you proposing? That we turn Heartland into some corporate venture? Forget it. This place was built on hard work, not flashy ideas. The argument escalates quickly, neither man willing to back down. The more they clash, the more the rest of the family feels the divide. Lou's attempts to mediate fall flat, and even Amy, who has always tried to keep the peace, finds herself caught in the middle of a battle she never expected to fight. As if the weight of the ranch weren't enough, Nathan is struggling with his own insecurities. He watches Amy pour herself into Heartland's future, and with each passing day, he feels more distant from her. He wants to be there for her, but the space between them feels impossibly wide. She's drowning in responsibilities, lost in the whirlwind of the ranch's demands, while he's trapped in the past, clinging to the they once shared love that feels like it's slipping through his fingers. For the first time in what seems like an eternity, Amy allows herself to truly feel the weight of it all. She spent so long holding everything together, keeping the pieces from falling apart, that she's forgotten the most important lesson she's ever learned. She doesn't have to carry this burden alone. But the clock is ticking, and the question lingers in her mind, can she bring everyone together before it's too late? That night, as Amy sits alone on the porch, the world around her is still, the silence broken only by the gentle rustling of the trees and the earthy scent of rain that still hangs in the air. The storm may have passed, but its aftermath clings to the atmosphere, heavy and suffocating. Just as she begins to find some peace amidst the chaos, a sound breaks through the quiet, the soft thud of hooves on the ground. At first, it's barely audible, a whisper in the night, but then it grows louder, more deliberate. A figure emerges from the fog, their presence shrouded in mystery. Amy's heart skips a beat, her breath catching as the pulse of anticipation quickens within her. Who could it be? When the figure steps forward, her world freezes. It's someone she never thought she'd see again, a ghost from her past. Their presence is as unexpected as it is unsettling. Time seems to stand still as Amy rises, her breath shallow and her heart racing. Why are you here? Her voice is steady, though each word betrays the shock and disbelief she feels. The figure steps closer, their face still obscured by the mist, but their voice deep, calm, and unwavering cuts through the tension like a blade. I've come to help, they say, the quiet intensity of their words hanging in the air, thick with promise and uncertainty. Amy's heart races, and in that instant, she realizes whatever this visit means, whatever this person's return signifies, it will change everything. The winds of change are sweeping through Heartland, and nothing will ever be the same again. Thank you so much for joining me on this thrilling chapter of Amy's journey. What do you think, who is this mysterious visitor, and how will their arrival shake the very foundation of Heartland? I can't wait to hear your thoughts, so drop a comment below and share your theories. If you're as captivated by Heartland as I am, make sure to hit that subscribe button so you never miss an update or a deep dive into this incredible series. Your support means the world to me, and I'm so grateful to have you along for the ride. Stay tuned for more, and thanks again for being part of this amazing journey